Right, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, guys. Now, today we're going to be talking about some very important things. Now, I'm joined by a very important guest. If you watched the other video that we put forward, you would have known who it is. It's Firas Zahabi, who is arguably one of, if not the most celebrated MMA coaches in all of UFC and all of the world, really, according to some people, including Joe Rogan. We talked about this in the previous video. So what we're gonna do in this episode here is just talk generally about. I mean, not everyone wants to live a life where they're kind of going to work and coming back in these things and having good, I don't know, treats like this. I don't know what this is. Maybe that's.
It's baklava.
This is your training video. It's baklava.
It's not that.
Step one.
It's not what. You can have fun. Okay, so look, it's not going to be a depressing video, guys. Okay? Because it shows you that even someone who's engaged in sports on a daily basis, trains the athlete, has a bit of fun sometimes. How should we eat?
Well, I'll tell you. I believe that with the knowledge we have today, scientifically, the advancements, everybody should be within a healthy body weight.
Right.
Because we know the benefits of it.
What would you define as a healthy body weight?
A young male should be between 9 and 15% body fat.
Okay.
Roughly speaking. Now there are going to be some anomalies. Now, that's somebody in very good shape. But why shouldn't you be in good shape? We have so much science behind fitness. Now we know we can get in shape in 5 to 10 minutes a day. Who doesn't have 5 to 10 minutes a day to keep their body, their most prized machine, healthy? You have time to fix your car and clean up your room, but you don't have time to keep your body healthy? You have to prioritize. Now,
what kind of tips would you give? Like, if now someone wants to start eating healthy, they want to start taking care of themselves. What are like the rules of thumb?
if I can boil it down in 3, I like to keep things simple. 3 rules. I find it's the easiest way to learn. Learn 3 things at a time on any subject. 1 would be know how many calories you can eat in a day. You can go on many websites, you find out how much your body, through your size, your age, your weight, your goal for your weight, how many calories should you eat in a day. There's many programs. And then practice calculating your calories. After a while, you'll just look at a piece of food and you'll know about how many calories. Now, you don't have to be perfectly exact, but over time, after about a month and a half, you'll be an expert. You'll be an expert. This is how many calories, this is that many calories, this is, I'm close to my quota for the day. Know how many calories you should have in a day.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll know that having that cookie is going to cost me this many calories, I'm not going to do it. Once you get to your goal, let's say you get to 8% body fat, 9% body fat, whatever it is. Now you can have more off days, more days of splurging. Like, I eat this today, I'm not worried. I'm going to stay my body fat. I'm not going to, you cannot gain more than 1 pound, 1.5 pounds of fat in a week. If you binged all week, you can gain water weight, yes. So you have to know that your goal, once you get there, it's easier to maintain than to get there. So I found it very encouraging. So how many calories do you eat a day? Figure that out. You're going to have to experiment. If you're a little bit lightheaded, that number is a little bit low. You have to tweak it. If you're not losing a lot of weight after 2-3 weeks of doing it, it might be a little high. You got to lower it. It's not an exact science. There is some adjusting that needs to be done. But the good news is it's very simple. If you're feeling bad, increase a small amount. Increase your calories by 5 or 10%. And now once you find that number, you'll find yourself full just eating that amount every day.
5 minutes before 1, bring them to
Second, I would say a good rule of thumb would be to eat the same foods every day. Like I have meals I make that are 300 calories. I know.
Give us an example of your meal.
I do one meal that I do almost every day is 1 banana, 2 eggs. I mash them up, I make a pancake. I make 3 pancakes with it.
Is that how you make a pancake?
Yeah, 3, mash them up. I make a pancake and I add 50 calories worth of honey. I love honey. So I'm eating things I love. Pancakes.
Sunnah food.
Yeah, of course.
Sunnah,
of course. I know that's 290 calories. I have dates, there's 75 calories each. I know how many right away.
Again, Sunnah food.
Sunnah food. Dates is amazing for training, the best. Yeah, all of it. Sugar, fiber, carbohydrate, slow releasing, easy to digest, and it's the perfect food. I always buy
You had a feeling that will happen.
I have certain smoothies I make. I know they're 300 calories. I know my blocks of calories. And if I'm in the mood to eat a hamburger, I know that a Big Mac is 560 calories. I can fit it in my day. I don't feel I'm deprived. Now, I don't always eat junk. I eat salads and fruits and vegetables, natural foods. But I know how many calories I should eat in a day. And for me, it keeps me lean, healthy, and it keeps the energy going. Because if you eat too many calories in a day, you'll feel lethargic. If you eat too little, you'll feel lightheaded and weak.
How do you keep that? Because that's one thing that I struggle with. Every day I feel tired. Like, how do I change that?
Know the right amount of calories.
Yeah.
Eat the healthiest food possible. The most nutrient dense.
Yeah.
And 3, I would say, you have to have a cheat meal here and there. Never let your cravings get out of control. If you're not at your target weight, have 1 or 2 cheat meals a week. Meals, not days, cheat days. 1 or 2 cheat meals.
What would you define as a cheat meal?
What's the cheat?
A burger, fries,
Okay.
and a dessert.
See, now you get
Come to Efe's Turkish restaurant and have a nice meal.
Yeah.
Don't go overboard, but have a nice meal. Don't let your cravings get out of control. When I see something I want to eat, I say, when I see something I want to eat, I'm like, okay, Saturday is my cheat meal. I'm having that. So I look forward to it. The motivation is very important, And every year on my birthday, I have to be 9% body fat. I do my diet. I make sure that every year, so my body doesn't age without me knowing. I keep it under control. I'm 38 years old. I train every day, all day long.
Before you're 41.
Yalla, next practice. Next practice. Let's see who's older. One of my students one time, wrestling, he's like, Coach, you're getting old. I said, it's been 10 years. You haven't taken me down once. Take me down once and then say, Coach, you're getting old. Because I haven't taken you down in 10 years and today I took you down. Still, he hasn't taken me down. So, Coach, are you getting old? How old are you now? Yeah, Latif, you haven't got one takedown. The rest of 10 years, I'm still waiting for you to take me down. You can age well. Aging.
This guy's been persistent. For 10 years trying with him, take him down.
Yeah, he's got the persistence. The thing is, with our technology we have today, the modern knowledge we have today, wallahi, aging is something that's going to be done very well. We have so much knowledge today. Health comes from eating right and exercise.
What do you think about meat? Because that was like the whole thing of not eating meat.
I would say, I like Dr. Joel Furman. He says 2 deck of cards a week. So about a deck of cards worth.
Of red meat or normal meat or what?
Red meat twice a week, not more than that. I think that's the ultimate. The optimal. I go over that. We have such great food all the time. We're traveling. But it's the optimal. When I do that, I feel my best. And when I'm losing weight, I try to lower my red meat. I try to eat more fruits and vegetables. And you feel amazing.
Yeah.
But then again, you go to these great restaurants, I don't want to deny myself, so, but next week, on this trip, I ate a little too much. Next week, I'm going to be more strict. Me, at the weight I am now, I do 4 or 5 days of the right amount of calories, I lose weight right away. But I also train a lot. It has to be reflective of how active you are. When you do these websites and you go on these forums, they're going to ask you, how active is your lifestyle? Very, moderate?
Oh, you train every day?
I train every day. I do train a lot.
Do you have 1 day rest?
1 day rest on Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
I think about 1 day a week off.
And okay, let's move on to the training now. since you talked about training, your training is mostly what's your training like?
You know what? Me, I can't run on a treadmill. I can't lift weight. It's too boring. I've been training a long time. For me, training is a play. It's a game.
And you train GSP as well? Right?
Yeah, George St. Pierre, of course. Many other great fighters.
Yeah.
I do jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, boxing. These things, if you tell me we're going to wrestle for 1 hour, to me 1 hour is nothing, wrestling. You tell me run on a treadmill for an hour, after 10 minutes, I'm not tired, I'm bored.
Like all your fighters,
I'm bored.
Do they have the same kind of philosophy that they don't run and they don't...
No, if you're competing, you're going to have the motivation to go run. Because training is 99% motivation.
Yeah.
One thing I tell my wife, I tell her, if I don't make the 9% on my birthday, I'll give you 5,000 as a gift.
Wow.
I'm not gonna listen. The chances of missing are gonna be less than 1%. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna, But she'll try to tempt me with. We make it fun. She'll try to tempt me with cakes. Honey, have this. But you need motivation. Wallahi, this is true. When it comes to training, motivation is important. Like me, my sons, I train my sons.
Yeah.
I tell my sons, if you train, I give you anything you want. What do you want? This toy, that toy? Yes, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
But train every day, do your schoolwork every day. The answer is yes. We save our money and we buy it. That's what you want? no problem. You want to eat McDonald's? No problem. One time I was eating 3-4 Big Macs. My son looked at me and said, Papa, how come you're not fat? I said, son, I train every single day.
Or do they have halal in Canada?
No, I don't even know. I was too hungry. I was eating. I eat it all.
No, if I have that opinion, no, that's not opinions. That's it. Right.
Yeah, no, I've heard of that actually. I've heard. But I didn't grow up eating halal, to be honest with you. So we're always used to eating whatever. It was not very common, halal. And
What, even now in Canada?
no, I don't know. I'm sure it is, but you'd have to go out of your way. It's not as common as here. Here I saw Kentucky is halal.
Is it?
Yeah, I saw
It's
Kentucky
most
Fried
places.
Chicken halal. Yeah. Subway's halal.
Yeah.
Yeah, most places.
It's called the Muslim pound. So most of the big companies
Okay.
have now.
Yeah, good. It's convenient. But anyways, I go stop myself. I train every day. It's not a question whether I'm gonna train or not. It's not a question. It's a habit.
And what's your training like? How many hours do you train?
I don't know. Wallahi, how many hours do we train today? That's my day every day.
2.5.
That's my day every day. Twice a day.
Do
Sometimes-
you do the sparring
Yeah,
every day as
of
well?
course.
Like,
Of course. You see my video?
Oh yeah.
I spar too. Yeah, I spar. Today I didn't train much. I have an injured rib.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing. Here's my philosophy on training.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no excuse.
Okay.
No excuse. Can you do one push-up a day? I'll tell you the biggest secret to training.
Yeah.
Never train 100%. Train always 70 to 80%. Save some for tomorrow. So if somebody's completely out of shape, let's say the guy, he hasn't trained in 10 years. I tell him, okay, tomorrow do one push-up. Just one.
me.
Don't tell me you don't have the time. Now if you tell me you don't have the time, khalas, I don't believe you. You're not serious about being healthy.
Okay.
You have given up. I call that defeatism.
Yes.
You've given up. That's true. I agree with that. Can you do one push-up? Don't give me one push-up. That one push-up is going to turn to two. Two is going to be enjoyable at one point. Actually, you're going to crave number 3. And then after the number 3 is going to turn to a 5 because 3 is uncomfortable. It's not as satisfying as doing 5. It's going to grow. And you've created a spark, a habit. For me now, I'm at the point where I train 3 hours and for me it's a regular day. Maybe somebody trained 3 hours, wow, that was exhausting. For me, it's just a regular day. I got to that point. But it's one step at a time. One click. So me, when I train someone, I hold their hand until they're too strong and they're carrying me. You know what I mean? You could take them step by step. My sons, I started with a little bit of training. A little bit, and then a little more, And then training is now mandatory. If you want the things you like, homework and training is mandatory. Before it was just a game. And now, Baba, I want this. Okay, no problem. We save our money for it. But if you have good discipline, I give you everything. I think the worst thing you could do to a child is give them without them earning. The worst. I'm a very serious father. I read a lot of books on raising children. And especially I have a background in philosophy. I have philosophized a lot about raising children. And children need to develop their competence. The more competence they have, the more confidence.
I want to ask you a question on that actually. And not just on children, but just on young people growing up. Because obviously, like, not just Muslims, but a lot of people in the West now have this self-insecurity. Yeah? And do you know what?
Participation trophy.
Yeah.
And so on.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, like, what do you... I think this is one thing that, of all people, you're the best person to ask, probably, to have asked. It's a quality that people don't talk about now. Yeah? Bravery. You do fighting. I mean, you train a lot of fighters. You've seen a lot. What's the best way to build bravery?
I would say developing competence. The more competence you have, the byproduct is confidence. You understand?
Yeah.
So the more I prepare, I always tell people this. If your competence is here, your confidence should be here. If your competence is here and your confidence is here, the real world, the world is going to shut you down.
Yeah.
If your competence is here and your confidence is here, you won't live up to your potential. So what we need is to be realistic. If you drive your car every day to work safely, you should assume that tomorrow you'll drive your car to work safely. If you're getting into an accident every 2 days, I'm gonna tell you, Muhammad, don't take the car today.
Yeah.
I'm not confident you can drive. So this is why I like to coin the term that I heard Kelly Stark say. He said, test, measure, retest. And build your confidence accordingly. This, I think, is sensible. So kids, young kids, the reason why they lack confidence is because, you know, I hate to bring philosophy in all the time, but you ever heard of Nietzsche's Last Man? Nietzsche says, look, the last man.
Which one is that? Yeah, I remember his Ubermensch.
Yes, the opposite of the last man.
Yeah, it's the opposite, yeah.
He says, look, society's creating. Socrates talked about this as well. Okay, look, think about it. You have pioneers, people who you have nothing. When you have nothing, you fight, you claw your way to the top.
Yeah.
And then you have something. And your son, he saw you work hard. You're the first generation of workers. You came to the land and you toiled the land and you farmed and you built. And your son, he saw. But your son's life is better than yours. Why? Because now I have things to give you, where I had nothing. And tomorrow when I die, you have inheritance. So you started higher than me. I boosted you up. And then your son is going to see you didn't work as hard, but you had so much. And the third child is even richer. And he just got. He didn't work. He just got. And okay, it takes more than 3 generations, so to speak. But there's a generation, they're spoiled. That's what Nietzsche said. Look, society is making us more and more spoiled because the hand-me-downs are coming. And then one day you're a fat cat on a silk pillow. But the world out there is too hard for you. So you have this deep insecurity. You can't go out there in the world and get a kill and bring it back home for us to eat. The comforts of the world, and I can give you many examples throughout history, many. The comforts of the world have become a prison to you. So now when I tell my kids, my wife, I never want to be soft. To be the guy who just tells people what to do, but I can't do it too. I fear one day I'm going to become old. And I have to become sidelined. But then I'm going to feel softer. I'm going to feel like I don't want to be the guy on the pillow, the sick pillow, so to speak. People think being born in abundance and money it's a blessing. It can be. It can also be a curse to have everything. So I mean, there's so much to know about raising a healthy human being.
So you're saying bravery is contingent on
Competence.
Yeah. So get confidence.
True bravery, because the thing is, people can act confident, but they're masking a layer of insecurity. And this is quite common the case.
Yes.
Bluff. It's a bluff. So yeah, I believe in raising competences. If you want to make somebody healthy and happy, raise their competence. Imagine, let me do a thought experiment. Imagine you could survive in the wild right now, perfectly comfortable. Tomorrow, if the government froze your bank account, kicked you out of the home, threw you out in the street, kicked you out of you wouldn't even sweat one beat. Why? I remember a story about a burglar, the greatest burglar of all time. Okay? The greatest burglar of all time. I believe his name was, if I remember correctly, Henry Manchester. I was a young kid when I heard his story. I watched a documentary on it. I couldn't believe the confidence this man had. 14 years he's robbing banks and stores and everybody. He's robbing everybody. They call him the rooftop burglar. He would make a hole in the rooftop, read the manual of the alarm, disable the alarm. Untouchable, this guy. One day they caught him, and he confessed to all the crimes. They're like, you confessed to all the crimes? Like, yeah, I did all those burglaries. He wanted to be famous. When they put him in jail, he was so smart, he got out of the jail. Like, he was so confident. Because why? He had he was a genius. Wallah, he was a genius. At the end, he ended up getting caught because he fell in love with a girl. The girl called the cops on him. He wasn't emotionally. He had high IQ, but not EQ. EQ is no good. EQ. Yeah. Emotional intelligence, 0. IQ, huge. But you see, he had I remember watching that documentary. His confidence was incredible. Yeah. But they can't even hold him in the prison. He's too smart. You understand? So this confidence comes from legitimate developing your skills. That's why I always tell my students. I've raised thousands of young men. I always encourage them to exploit their potential. God gave you a potential to learn, to think, to study, to increase your physics. Exploit it. It's a gift.
That's what the Prophet said. He said, take 5 before 5. And I wanted it to like. Ghanima is basically a war booty. In other words, take like the treasures of 5 things before 5 things come. So he said one of the things he said is health before illness comes, youth before old age comes. For example. These are some of the 5 things. He said. Quite similar advice. So guys, I mean, thank you. First of all, Firas, thank you very much for that. It was excellent. I think a lot of people take a lot of benefit from that because I think this is an aspect that people sometimes neglect, right? And people sometimes forget that being physical, being emotionally intact and mature is also a very important part of being a human being and functioning in life. So thanks for that. It was really good advice. Now, obviously, for us, it's got a YouTube channel where you do your like tutorials and stuff like that. It's called TriStar. It's a TriStar Gym, which is a gym where obviously some of the greatest fighters really have trained and have all these videos on there. So anyone who wants to go on there and to watch those videos are very, very beneficial. And you have talks as well. You talk about nutrition, you talk about these kind of similar discussions as we've had today. So that's also on there. And thanks for listening, guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.